Hi everybody, welcome to Coffee and Crafting. I'm so happy to have you here. This is the very first episode, so I kind of want to see where y'all want to take it. But my thought process is just to have a fun conversation around crafting and what's going on today. I also am starting a new project and I kind of wanted to get y'all involved on that. So if you are joining me this today at noon, I'm here in Texas. Let me know where you're coming from. I'd love to hear from you. I called it Coffee and Crafting because I love to have a cup of coffee after my lunch, and I can just start my afternoon that way and I can start crafting again. So thank you so much for joining me today on my very first episode of Coffee and Crafting. Let me know where you're coming from. It's going to be a very casual conversation where we're just going to be talking about crafting, and I'm going to kind of show you what I'm working on this week to give you a sneak peek. So when you see it on the feed later, you can see how I made it. But again, I love having my cup of coffee after my lunch, and then I go back into crafting. So this morning, I was working on a really fun project for a really fun brand. I was doing a lot of painting, and so I'm really excited just to take a break and chat with you. So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask them. But I wanted to say thank you for being here. Let me reintroduce myself. If you're not familiar, my name's Elizabeth, and I'm with Country Peony. And Country Peony is a DIY and craft blog, and I'm focused out of Texas. And I focus on simple and inexpensive crafting projects to really inspire you just to craft and to create in your own home. So I really hope that I do that. I like to do whimsical crafts as well. I obviously love pink. If you've seen my feed, here in the studio, I have a lot of pink accents, and it makes me really, really happy. So thank you again for joining me. We can get started. I want to talk about some of my favorite products. Let's start that off. And again, if you have any questions, it's super casual. You can just ask them below and I'd be happy to answer them for you. So I want to highlight, and I also have in the description below my favorite products. You can see those. But my first favorite product is this adorable ghost from Woodpecker's Crafts. If you're not familiar with Woodpecker's Crafts, I highly recommend you looking into them, especially if you like to craft. They've got these amazing wooden products on their website, and they're just a really good company. And so this is their 10-inch ghost. And the reason why I'm talking about it today is because I am working on my fall decor this week, and I'm going to incorporate some ghost. So full disclosure, my birthday's on Halloween, but I am not a fan of like the spooky and the scary. And so I tend to stay away from that. But this year I thought it'd be really fun to do my own take on the spooky and scary with some really cute and charming ghosts. And Woodpecker's Crafts, these ghosts are so cute. They also have these chunky, these chunky ghosts, which kind of stand on their own. And so again, you check out their website. I have it linked here. And you can use my code CountryPeony for 5% off. But you will get inspired when you go to the website because they have so many incredible wooden products. So I would love to know if you're decorating for fall already or if it's too soon for you. I personally am doing it because it is so hot here in Texas, and I'm hoping at least when I walk inside, I will inspire just a cooler atmosphere and just a cooler vibe all around. So I'd love to know if you're decorating for fall yet, and if you've chosen your color scheme or what you tend to normally do. I like to kind of do the non-traditional fall colors. I love to do pinks and purples and kind of fun greens, but I'd love to hear what your take is on it. So we will start this project later on in this broadcast. And then the next thing I wanted to highlight is the pom-pom maker. So if you've been around for a while, you know that I love making pom-poms. You can visit my blog, countrypeony.com, and type in pom-poms, and I have a lot of projects. I even have a pom-pom ebook I can link below. But this is Clover's Pom-Pom Maker. It makes it so incredibly simple to make pom-poms. If you've never made a pom-pom, this is the perfect tool for you. Or if you have made pom-poms, you've used like a fork, I've seen some people use tissue paper rolls, all the things. This is really fun and simple. It's not that expensive, and I highly recommend you grabbing this if you enjoy working with yarn or working with pom-poms at all. And then my next favorite for this week, I actually have to go grab it because I realized I didn't pick it up. So one moment. Okay, sorry about that. Is my disco ball. So a lot of people are kind of baffled by why I love disco balls so much, but let me tell you. Okay, so I love putting these in decorations. So I have a mantle here in the studio I love staging it with. I also love putting it around my holiday tree. And the beauty of it is that when I come into my studio in the morning, the disco balls are covering my ceiling. They're covering little corners of my studio, and it's beautiful. I love it so, so much. So if you don't have a disco ball, I highly recommend you grabbing one. I've linked some of my favorites in the description below, but it's so, so much fun. Hi, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining me. So it's just, I highly recommend you grabbing a disco ball and just putting it around your house and seeing where it fits best, kind of where the glimmers of light pick it up. It's so, so much fun. So I will just set this here so you can kind of see it sparkle as we go. But again, it's just really fun as part of the vignette, as you see here. And if you want to stabilize it, all I do is I take some gaffer tape, which is this great industrial strength tape that I used to use whenever I would do events. You double side it and you just stick it underneath and it holds it in place. Okay, so now that I've kind of told you about some of my favorites, I wanted to tell you what I'm working on this week. And again, if you have any questions about any techniques or anything I can answer, I'd love to hear it. So this week I'm actually going to be working on these wooden ghosts. I mentioned I love Woodpecker's Crafts, but the beauty is that you can decorate these to your heart's content. So I mentioned earlier that I'm not a big fan of the spooky and scary. I'm also not a huge fan of the traditional fall colors. And so I like to add my own spin, and I think I'm gonna paint this one like a light pink, and then the other one's a white. So let's get to the crafting portion of this segment. I'm gonna show you kind of just what I do to make these fun ghosts. And I forgot to mention, these are actually gonna go on my holiday tree. So you will see that later on, either next week or the week after. But all I do with these is I paint them. I'm going to add some fun eyes. And then to the back of them, I'm just gonna add a fun hanger. So let's get started on that. And if you have any questions along the way, please let me know. I would love to answer them for you. So I mentioned I'm going to do a white ghost, and I'm also gonna do a pink ghost. So when I'm doing a large flat surface like this, instead of busting out my paint palette, I just add the paint directly to the wooden piece. And then I like to use sponge brushes because they're really easy. You don't see the paint lines, and it's just a really simple process. So for these, I'm just gonna paint the fronts of the ghost, and then I'm gonna leave the backs blank because you don't see them. But if you put these on a garland, or if you have these on a tablescape, I would recommend painting both sides. And here, this is just a very pale pink. This is kind of my signature, something very, very simple, where it doesn't scream pink, but it'll be enough to where it adds some fun personality to the tree and to the ghost. And I love these so much because you don't have to add too much to them. They're so cute on their own, but you can add like a gold foil, you could add a buffalo plaid check, you could add like fun polka dots. That could be so cute. There's so many fun things you could do there. So I'm almost done adding this paint, and I'm just using a craft paint, an acrylic paint. But you could use whatever. I've used Miss Mustard Seeds milk paint on these, and that's really fun. Just very, very simple process. And that's why I love focusing on simple projects, because Instant gratification. I don't have a lot of patience, and it's fun to have a project that you can do that only takes a couple of hours and you see progress. So all I'm doing now is I'm painting the sides, and just so you can see it from the front, it's beautiful on all sides. And I mentioned I'm going to be putting these on my my holiday tree. That's going to be my Halloween holiday tree. And so that is it. All I did was paint a really simple one coat of this light pink. I think this is called the ballet pink. It's beautiful. And so we're gonna paint the other one a white, because I was gonna do some pink and some white. And thank you for joining me. If you're just now joining me, welcome to Coffee and Crafting, where I talk about some of my favorite products, and then we can craft together. So, okay, so now we did the pink ghost, and now we're gonna do a white. Again, when I'm doing a large flat surface like this, the easiest way to do it is just to directly add the paint, and then you're essentially just going to cover it with it. And I like to do the foam brush because it doesn't leave any paint marks. So very, very simple process. This is something you can even do with your children or grandchildren if you're wanting to do a fun Halloween setup. I'm going to attach these to my holiday tree, but I could see you easily adding a fun wood treatment so you can stand these up on your table. So cute, so simple. And I'm just doing something very simple to these. I'm just painting them, but again, you can add even fabric to them. You can Mod Podge napkins, tissue paper, all the things. I love the versatility of these products. And if you want to try one, again, you can go to the description under Woodpecker's Crafts. It's their 10-inch ghost. And you can use the code Country Peony for 5% off. Okay, so we're almost done with this one too. It's so simple. I just wanted to show you just a very simple craft today that might get you into the fall spirit, since it is so hot here in Texas. Okay, and again, I'm just painting the fronts and not the backs of these because they are not going to be showing. I'm going to put them on my holiday tree, which I'll show you hopefully in the next week or so. And that is it. So I painted 2 ghosts, and you can apply another coat, but I'm happy with how it looks. And so we'll put those aside, those paintbrushes aside, and now we can work on our eyes. For the eyes, I'm just gonna do a very simple circle, very, very simple. So I like to freehand a lot of things. I'm not very exact, which is why I love to do simple crafts, because I feel like when I start putting measurements and stuff together, it makes it hard for me. And so I just want to have fun. And so I'm just going to do a cute oval shape for the eyes. I'm just doing a rough drawing on this felt, and this is just a simple felt, nothing too fancy. And then I'm just going to cut it out. For these, since these ghosts are 10 inches, we're going to make these eyes about, I'd say about 1 inch or so. Pretty simple, just a simple eye for you, as you can see. Very cute. And so I do want the eyes to look the same. So I'm going to use the first one as a template. Very simple. But again, you could have fun with the eyes too. You could do a different color on these. I'm gonna keep it black because the colors on my tree, I have so much going on with all the disco balls and the different colors that I thought it'd be fun just to keep it, my color scheme, to black and light pink and a white, because the tree itself is pink. So thank you again for joining me today, guys. I'd love to know where you're coming from, or if you have any questions at all. I am just making a simple ghost ornament for my Halloween holiday tree. So here are the eyes, and I will see if this pink is dry yet. This is what we are attaching it to, and we are just going to directly hot glue it onto here. So I'm gonna stand up for this portion because I'm going to hot glue now. And the hot glue machine, I don't have it on my favorites, but I do have it linked in my Amazon storefront, and I can also link it below. This is a hot glue. This is a wireless hot glue gun. If you do any type of hot gluing, I highly recommend you investing in this. It's amazing. Okay, the only thing I recommend is getting 2 batteries because sometimes the battery runs out and mid-project, that's just not great. So all we're gonna do is we're gonna hot glue the eyes directly to your ghost, make it very simple and fun. That is so cute. Okay, and then we're gonna do the other one. And I love the look of the felt, but you could do fabric. You could even paint it. The felt is an easy solution and it's cute because it adds a little dimension. Oh my gosh, that is adorable. Isn't that cute? It is so, so simple. I love how big these eyes are. I don't think that they're proportioned for the body, but I kind of like that because it adds extra whimsy. So I just painted it a light pink. It's still a little wet. I would recommend waiting, but for today's purposes, I just wanted to show you. So cute. This is the first one. And then I want to show you how to do the hanger. Okay. So the hanger is very simple. Since I'm putting these on my holiday tree, I'm gonna add a hanger, but you could easily, like I said, put a piece of wood on the back and you could stand it up for your tablescape. You could also link them together and make a fun garland. You could do different colors. It'd be really cool. So I am going to excuse my mess. For some reason, all of my wires look like this. If you have a solution, let me know. I don't know it yet. Anyway, okay, so all I do is take some wire. This is a 20 gauge, so something a little bit thicker, but not too thick to where it's not manageable. And I'm gonna cut it to about 3 inches. And so all I'm gonna do now is I'm going to bring it together and then twist the ends. As you can see, just to create a simple loop and making sure the surface is flat, okay? And then from here, I'm just going to attach this with hot glue directly to the back, okay? And I put a lot of hot glue on this part because I want to make sure that it stays. So I'm gonna stick it on there. Not sure if you can see that. So I just attach it onto there. Thank you, Brenda. It's so simple, it's so fun. And I think I didn't overcomplicate it, but you can make a whole bunch of these in an afternoon and it can be a really fun tablescape for fall or Halloween. Like I said, I'm gonna add this to my Halloween holiday tree, but you could put them together to make a tablescape. You could attach them as a garland. That could be really fun too. So all I did was I took Woodpecker's Crafts 10-inch wooden ghost cutout, and then I painted it a pale pink, and then I cut out some felt eyes. So this is very simple, very fun. This is gonna look really cute on my Halloween holiday tree. And yeah, this took 10 minutes maybe to make and paint another one. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today on my very first coffee and crafting. I hope this inspires you just to create something fun this week. And then join me again next Monday and we are gonna make something else. Again, if you have any questions about any of my projects or any tutorials, I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for being here and I hope that you have a beautiful rest of your Monday and a wonderful week. Thank you guys.